Morning Bodgers. For those new to the channel, I am Bodger, and today we are back with Project Stephen. There is a playlist in the playlist. It's down there. You'll see how I took it from being off the road for a few years, put it back on the road, and various other little jobs we've done to it. And the latest job is to make it into a micro camper. There's lots of videos on micro campers. What I'm going to do today is the way I'm doing it. I aren't saying it's right, but I've watched enough to have a fair idea of what we're doing. I do have a large roll of insulation, and I also have some other insulation that's going to go over the top of it, and we're going to try and make it toasty and warm ahead of the sleepout that we're having, the Great Tommy Sleepout. All your favourite YouTubers, plus a few more that you might not have heard of before, are gathering here at RAF Snaith, and we are going to be building an Anderson shelter. It's all to raise money for veterans who are out on the streets, down on their luck, not able to get back into the workplace. You know the thing. Basically doing the job that the government maybe should be doing, but that's as controversial as I'm going to get in this video. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Let's crack on. We might be joined by Adi from Blown 8 Cylinder a little bit later. He's still in bed, I think. So yeah, let's get cracked on. So this is what we've got for the, it's more like the stuff you put in your loft. It isn't made out of fiberglass though, or wool. It's actually made out of recycled plastic bottles. I got this from B&Q here in England. You get it from hardware stores over in your side of the things, Home Depot, that kind of thing, if you're in the States. We've also got 3 tins of adhesive spray and some foil tape to try and cover up some of the holes. So what we're going to do is get rid of these straps. We're going to fill these cavities, all these, you know, if I can get some up into here, I'm going to fill them all with that stuff, with the insulation. And behind here as well, we need to remove the plastic trims and those down there, and get them stuffed with the thick insulation, with the recycled bottles, plastic stuff. Then once all that's tightly packed, we will be actually, so getting ahead of myself as always. So when we remove these, we're going to see if we can get some of that silver stuff behind here, then stuff it. What it does is it slows down the transfer of heat from the outside of the van, and tries to keep it so it's a lot warmer in here. But at the moment, this is the problem. Condensation, there's a lot of it. You can see the drips there, and that's what we're trying to cure. Anyway, best thing is for me to crack on. You'll see what I'm doing, and a little bit later on we'll have a little bit of a talk about what we've got coming up in March. Stay tuned. Right, so first things first, the first layer of insulation is has got a sticky backing there, 7mm of closed cell foam so as it doesn't absorb water, and then like a silvery top on it. That's what you'll see on the inside of the van. It's going to look a bit like some sort of spaceship, I think, by the time we're done. And then I do have some other insulation that's made out of recycled bottles, that's going to go in there as well to stuff all the spaces and things that I can't get this lot into. But I'll gather all the stuff together, and we're going to warm the van up with a heater, just try and take out some of the moisture so as this stuff sticks better, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So first things first, stripping out the trim from the step, all the black trim that you see, the plastics off the doors, and I've just got around to this side. This is only held on with clips, so should pull straight off, and a few bits of boarding that I still had I've taken those off and stored them over there. The boarding that was on the floor I'm going to use as a pattern, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so let's press on. I'll bob you down there. You with me? There we go. Quite simple. They're only held on with clips. You see those? Alright, look who's joined us, look. You see it?
Oh, you're banging, weren't you?
Well, man, banging. Yeah. AD, blowing 8 cylinder, link in the description.
Morning.
Morning, morning, or afternoon. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, interior, we're working on the interior, since you're stood around doing now.
I'll be sat down doing it in a minute.
There ain't no chairs in here. Oh yeah, there is. Damn. Yeah. Getting all these out. Looks like they all need a bit of a clean. Yeah, just getting it apart is the big thing, isn't it? More than anything. Right, anyway. Cracking on, all the plastics out, and I'll fetch you back. Right, so these panels are coming out on the side steps, so we can get good coverage with the silver. I don't know what the word is. Silver insulation is what I'm going to call it. Silvery spongy insulation. Then we're going to clean off the floor, clean off all the dusty bits, and hopefully we should get a good adhesion. Adhesion. There's a word.
That's a good word.
Adhesion.
It's a Thursday word.
It's a Thursday word. Right. Not that today's a Thursday, it's a Sunday when you're watching this, but you know. Or it might not be a Sunday. Could be watching it any time. Anyway, whatever. I'm waffing. Let's crack on. Right, so we've got a lot of the plastics out and the restraining hooks that you get, you know, to put your tie downs on. And we're just going to give it a clean out, brush down, and hopefully then it'll be in some sort of shape to start getting the first silver layer on. And then after the silver layer, we've got some of that on the lower half. Got this panel to take out as well, and that one. Once we've got the silver in there, the silver back stuff, then we're going to start shoving the thick insulation, the recycled glass bottle stuff, into the cavities, and up into the cavities up here, and wherever we can get it, basically. Silver in the bottom of there, stuff that with the bottle stuff, the recycled bottle. I need a proper word for that, I'll ask Adi. So yeah, a bit of a clean down, you know, it's all a bit thick. So yeah, I'll get cleaned down and I'll bring you back. Right, so what we've decided to do is do it in strips going across rather than two coming down, just to make it a bit easier to handle between the two of us. And what we're going to do is, it's 45 inches across, so let's have a look. This is 1 metre. What's that in inches? 39. So we're going to have to go that way across the roll, 45. Yeah, let's do that. other way. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. So,
See you.
as long as we can see them slotty things to screw the job down with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you got Velcro on your side?
Velcro?
Yeah.
Right, there's a bit there.
Well, I'm literally right up to it.
As long as you can see them plastic things.
Yep.
Like I say, it's not. We're not
now,
going precise.
don't forget, that comes back to here.
Right, stay where you are. Like that. So I've got a rough idea of where that is. Yeah, so what we're doing, folks, is just here is where the fuel tank is and the fuel pump. A lot of people you see on all these videos, they forget that they might need access to that at some point. And they go covering it over, and then you've got to take your camper apart just to get to it. So, we're out there, aren't we?
Thank you very much.
Ish.
Need to find out where it goes.
And then
Curve of it's there.
ish. So to get that's going to be about there. There.
Goes right across.
Out there. We're in the ballpark. I can always
Put a line across there. And go from there to there. And it's just there.
somewhere there on that thick line that's about an inch thick. So what we'll do is we'll cut that, stick that actually onto the cover of the thing, as long as we can get to the screw holes.
Well, shall we cut it out and actually just then lay this back over and make sure we're in the right area?
Well, no, let's get this stuck down, then we'll do that, because if we get that all the wrong way, we've already got a bigger chunk cut out, haven't we? If we stick this first, then we can probe about, because we know it's definitely there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Which way you want?
So if we do peel that off, and ram it into there, just leaving those.
Hang on. Right.
As long as we can get that trim shoved into there. Yeah. And then we'll get a screwdriver or something to give it a good crushing down with.
Could do it with like a little roller or something.
Yeah, usually you can get rollers with kits and things, but I'm cheap. I'm going to start splitting again. Trouble is, it's a cold. Usually you're supposed to do this in the summertime, but
we don't have summertime.
We don't have summertime here in the UK, and get rid of that altogether. We're in place, aren't we? It's going to lie how it lies. then this way it's going to be more comfortable on the knees. A lot of people I've seen start on the side and on the tops and all the rest, and by the time they're getting out, they're making noises like I do when I get out of bed in the morning. It'll go down as we crawl all over it, putting the roof on.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
So yeah, 7mm thick, foil, sticky on the side.
You're going to cut your flap out.
We'll get the other in first.
Yeah.
You think?
Could do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then leave the flap until the last, can't I really? Almost sounded like a plan. Right, so we've got this here recycled bottles. Made from recycled bottles. Got it from B&Q. If you're in America, it'd be Home Depot or whatever. What's the other one the Americans have? Home Depot and whatever the other one is.
Yeah. Walmart.
Walmart, wherever. So what we're going to do is just fill up a few voids before we go fitting the silver stuff to the roof. Because otherwise we ain't going to get in. Don't need a lot. But you see how thick it is. And once we get all the silver stuff in, I'm going to spray glue and then stick this to it. And then panels I've got at home, I'll put those on, and that should do us really. Hopefully. Right, we'll pull this apart and fetch it back when I'm shoving it in. Right, so we're going to shove some of the rock wool, I'm going to call it. It isn't, it's a recycled bottle insulation. And just shove it in here, try and take up the gaps. Don't need a lot, but we're just stuffing it in. Doesn't have to be perfect.
What she said.
Yeah, that's what she says. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as well, isn't it? Pulls apart easy. I think they're using this stuff instead of fiberglass nowadays.
Yeah, good mouse bedding.
Yeah. Well, we do know mouse that needs a bed. We'll leave a link to that in the description when it comes out. You want to just tear a bit more off and we'll north. Yeah, so we're just shoving it in where we can get it. Yep, so what we're doing is I've started filling some of the voids with the recycled bottle insulation, just keeping it away from the lock so they all still function. But like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? For me, its primary role is as a van, not as a camper. We'll get some of that shoved into all these holes down here and up the side. The more I get in, the better it's going to be. Warmer, hopefully. There we go. So most of this now is filled. I'll put a piece of the silver on there, then a bit more of the recycled bottle stuff into there, then put the plastics back on, and then we'll do silver up here, the silver insulation, and then a bit of the recycled bottle, and then yeah, all this is silver, and then recycled bottle on the top, and then I'll put the boarding back on. I'm going to cover the boarding, but I've got an idea for that if I can make it work, but that might be in another video. So yeah, we'll keep at it. We'll keep at it. I'm going to shove some of these cavities full now, and then Eddie's just going to have to make a coffee. When he gets back, we'll have our brew, and then we'll start doing the ceiling and get some of the silver stuff up there. Now that I've gone and packed these full of the glass bottle insulation, the supports that are going across. So yeah, I'll fetch you back in a minute. So in here and a bit further over we have these. Again, I'm just going to shove the stuff in there, try and shove it down as far as I can. If I can get some down there. Just like that. Maybe a bit bigger piece. It kind of bungs in there. And then what I'll do is I'll cover that with the silver tape. Just stops as much of the heat escaping. See that? And then I'll do the same there. Try and shove it either way as I go. Might have to pop out the interior light just to gain a bit of access. Just like that. And the silver tape, insulation tape. It's not duct tape, but it is like a heat proof. It's designed to reflect heat back in to a room. So you've got the peels away, same as what the floor covering does. Just like a metallic, it's like tin foil almost. Make sure it's all tucked in, and then we'll it tears out. It tears easy enough, rips easy enough. All a learning curve, folks. All a learning curve. Obviously it's not going to stick to the insulation itself. This is a 45 metre reel of tape. I think it's more than enough for what I need, but you can get shorter lengths, but I just didn't want to run out of anything. I have just got the message from Mrs. Bodger that the other 10 metres of silverback foam insulation has arrived, and I might use that if we have to double anything up. That's better, there we go. So yeah, it's all about just stopping that air from escaping if we can. All that nice warm air that's going to keep me warm on a night, or keep me cold, because obviously when it is summertime, and we do get summertime in Britain, it's just going to keep me keep the heat out. That's how this stuff works. Keep me cooler in the summertime. So yeah, I'll keep working at this, keep stuffing the voids, and then we'll be going to have a go at the roof. So I'll bring you back. Right folks, so we've already put the first bit in. It was a bit more tricky, but just wanted to concentrate on what I was doing rather than filming it. So now, more silver stuff up onto the roof. Might have a bit of trimming because we didn't get the first one very straight, but it is what it is.
Right, now
Thanks. Gee. Thanks.
This is absolutely killing my fucking children.
Oh, I forgot about your Dicky. Look at him. He's knackered, but he's knackered, viewers. Look, old man. There you go. And it ain't itchy. You won't be doing that if it's fiberglass.
But he wouldn't.
Right. So, yeah, we've got it doubled here. We aren't bothered. We're going to tape off. And just use your knuckles. Oh, you can get proper rollers to do the job, but for a one-off deal like I'm doing, I'm not that bothered. We can always trim round if we get anything that's a bit not going quite so well. Try and go with the ridges of the roof. That's where the strengthening bar is that we've already filled with broken bottle, or what is it? Recycled bottle stuff. And this end, like I say, we can always trim round. You just have to trim round these, I think. Just get it to lie flat. And then we're going to tape all the way around and do the joints. But that's certainly a lot better than what we did have, just a bare roof. Right, we'll give her a trim up and we'll fetch you back. Right, so the roof has been a relative success. Now we're trying to put some of this stuff into these voids. It's a little bit tricky. Because it does want to stick on everything you can possibly get, but basically shove it up into there and try and get it behind that panel there. Then we'll put the glass, we'll put the recycled bottle insulation in there. So yeah, we're just tucking it in, get it glued on, and then we'll carry on. So there we go folks, I've got the silver in there. Now I'm just going to pack it with the, can you see me, there we go. Now I'm just going to pack it with the recycled bottle insulation and pack out as much as we can. There does need to be a little air gap, I believe. See this vent here? Just need to leave that clear if we can, just to give it a bit of breathing space, but it's not perfect. But again, doesn't have to be. So let's crack on. Right then folks, this is how far we've got. We've now got the roof done, well more or less done. All the insulation's on, and I've taped up parts of it just to take up where we've cut and try and make a nice airtight seal. I still need to do that one with the silver tape. Again, I'll leave links and things in the description if I remember, but you know, there's enough other videos online where they tell you what you need. Floor is more or less done. We've still got these areas here to put insulation on, do the wheel arches on either side, and then up here I'm going to put some more of the normal insulation on this silver stuff on here. I might cut around those two little pockets there. Do in here, put some of the glass bottle insulation on, and then cover it again, and then I do have a board that will go over there. Again, I'm going to cover the board in fabric of some description, not sure what just yet. But yeah, all these holes, fill those up. I've gone and packed the glass bottle insulation in there, taken up all the gaps, and behind there as well I also put the silver foil backing in there as well, and there, and then filled it with the woolly insulation. I won't be doing the back wall, there's no point, it's not against the coldness of outside. I still have the doors to do either side, so there's still a bit to do, Bodgers. So we will be back here tomorrow to get the job finished, or relatively finished. It's going to be 2 or 3 videos I think to get to the end of it, but as we go through I will leave links to that and links to the playlist for Steve, the van, named after a friend of mine that I inherited the van from, sadly passed. So yeah, but there's been a little bit of devastation. I've filled the bin, a little bit more tidying to do, and then all this lot to pack away, but that can all wait while tomorrow. But yeah, I'm pleased with the progress today. Big thank you to Adi from Blown 8 Cylinder. There will be a link in the description to his channel. Please go subscribe there if you haven't already. Subscribe here, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Right then folks, it's the next day. I did a little bit more off camera, but not a lot. So I've packed insulation into there. I've gone and done the silver under there as well. Silver on there. And this door, I've gone and packed the bottom with the silver on the door and the insulation in. Not a lot, because the trim actually goes into the door skin itself, so I've packed in what I can. Now I'm going to do the top of the door, and going to put some of the silver stuff on there, and then we're going to be doing the silver on the wheel arch and all up this side, same on this side. And then what I might do is spray foam on, is spray glue the silver and put on some of the soft insulation on there, and then I've got some boarding at home I'm going to cover and put in there. So anyway, whatever, I'll crack on, and you can see what I get up to. Right then folks, so I've done the side. I left you do it when I was doing the door. I've put the trim back on, done the silver at the top. I do have a board that's going to go over the silver at the top, but I'll see if I can squish in some of the recycled bottle stuff before I put that on. And then this side I've already done the wheel arch and everything in the silver. Again, I do have one large panel that will go on there, so I'll put a bit of the recycled bottle insulation up there as well, just with some spray adhesive first. Stick it on, then stick the panel on. Back doors are done. Again, same with that. I do have a wooden panel, so I'll just put a bit of the recycled stuff on there. I'm going to knock that one out off camera because, yeah, it's time consuming, it's frustrating. I only have a certain amount of time today. But other than that, there you go. This is by no means an instruction video. This is just how I've done Steve the van. You know, we've done the roof, everything else. As long as I can sleep in it for a few nights in a row, something like that, because we have... What do we have coming up? Tell them what we've got coming up.
Great Tommy Sleepout, where we all get together again and probably get drunk.
And probably get drunk, yes.
And camp in a shelter, a field.
Anyhow, the proper description is there's a lot of homeless veterans out on the street and struggling in life in general, even if they aren't on the street, and we're supporting a charity that supports them. There's going to be all the usual YouTubers plus a few extras sprinkled on, 2 of them in a different location down in Cornwall. Links will be in the description below. What we're going to be doing is we are going to build an Anderson shelter, and never know, Eleanor might sleep in it, who knows. We're going to be putting up the Anderson shelter during the daytime, and then at night we might do a bit of live streaming, a couple of videos, whatever. Keep your eye out. Same as last year basically. And yeah, we're going to try and raise as much money as we can. There is a link in the description to the GoFundMe. Please go over there, donate wherever you can, whether it's 1p, 1 quid, 100 quid, whatever it is. Anything you can spare, chuck it in the pot. Yeah, I'll leave links to all the channels that are taking part. We've got a few new faces in there you might not have seen before. And yeah, that's about it. So that's one job done ish. I will get it finished off. I'll probably take some photographs, put them up on the socials for you, and hopefully I'll be able to sleep out on it for the Great Tommy Sleepout. Anyway, that's it from me. So goodbye from him, and I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other as always. Tatty bye.